I tend to believe that if you could scan a memory, it wouldn't come out in the highest possible resolution. I think it would be a little blurry and shattered and imperfect in a bunch of different ways. Now, despite, and maybe because of these inconsistencies, you'd probably treasure this hypothetical scan of your memories more than anything you could capture on a modern-day camera. Unfortunately, you can't scan memories. But you can scan film, and that's pretty close to the same thing. Today I am here to do my best to answer the age-old question, what are the top 3 ways to get the film look? And some of them are a little more accurate and true to form than others, but I have been on this journey for a while now because we are officially deep into the film resurgence of the early 20s. It's not really fair to call it a resurgence because film interest kind of rises and falls all the time. But we're in it right now. If you look at ads from any of the big dogs, especially in the outdoor industry right now, Arc'teryx, North Face, Oakley, whatever, there is a huge push towards this 16 millimeter film look. So it's a valuable thing and it's not an easy thing to achieve. Over the years, I've kind of come up with 3 good ways to do it. And so we're going to go over them in this video. Technique number 1 is funny because while it's probably the least technically accurate on the list, it does convey the feeling better than just about anything short of actually shooting film. This one's gonna require a little bit of gear. You're gonna need to purchase one of these quote unquote dad cams. I got this one on eBay for $50. If it shoots like 720p HD, it'll work fine. Don't overthink it. Start by dragging your beautifully terrible footage into your editing software and go to wherever you would add a LUT. From here, you're gonna add a film emulation LUT. I use the Kodak 2383 from coloristfactory.com. It's free and it's great. After a bit of tweaking, I opt to take the digital edge off the image since it's so low resolution by adding a Gaussian blur. I find that about 6% blurriness in Premiere works perfectly. After mucking around with the colors and the aspect ratio, you wind up with this, which isn't perfect, but it gets the feeling across. Technique number 2 is probably what you're actually looking for out of this video. If you've ever seen something that you know is digital, but it just looks so much like film, it was probably either done with this exact technique or by a professional colorist that did something extraordinarily similar. The most accessible version is called Cineprint 16. At the time of recording, it's on version 2. It's a DaVinci Resolve power grade that was made by this incredible cinematographer and colorist named Tom Bolis. And even though no one wants to admit this is how they achieve the look, it's pretty much how everyone's doing it. I know for a fact Gox has used it, and I've even seen something that's at least similar show up on Porgan McKinster's channel at least once or twice. The cool thing is, it's super cheap compared to any other alternatives like Film Convert Nitrate or Dehancer. Plus, it's just better. You have so much more control over the look, and yeah, I just really don't like Dehancer. The biggest con is you have to be editing in DaVinci Resolve to use it. There's no way around it. But if you haven't already learned Resolve, it's pretty much the way of the future. It's years ahead of any other editing software, so I highly recommend jumping in as soon as you can. This technique is something that you get better at the more you use it. So I've got my own workflow that really would take far more than one video to explain. That said, Tom has an incredible YouTube channel that goes through everything you would need to know. That's how I learned. If you want to see one of my videos that I used it on recently, my previous upload to this one has a ton of shots that I edited with Cineprint 16. If you absolutely must know how I do it, I've been posting some highly boring, highly technical videos about color grading on my membership, so you can join the channel and see the way I do it. It could be more or less right than how other people do, so take it all with a grain of salt. I'm learning. Before we move on to the third, final, and by far best way to get the film look in your videos, I want to tell you a story of something that happened to me almost 7 years ago now. I was scrolling through Vimeo the way I often do, and I came across this video that still stands out as one of my all-time favorite on the internet. The intro music hooked me immediately, and I remember having the thought, what kind of black magic do I have to do to get music this good in my video? Like, who do I have to email to make this happen? And after some research, I found out that it was licensed through the sponsor of today's video, which is MusicBed. The fact that you are here means you're like me and you are on this endless journey to perfect this film look. And it's a noble journey because film is so good at conveying this one very specific tone and emotion. What's so great about high quality music is you can convey any tone, any emotion, any number of ways.
Up here, everything looks so small. It's very quiet.
And when it's as high quality as that which is on MusicBed, it makes the whole process so much more enjoyable, so much easier. You can go through my channel and you will be hard pressed to find one single video that doesn't have at least one MusicBed song on it. I've been a loyal customer for years. So I arrogantly believe that I know where the good stuff is more than anybody else. And luckily, I'm here to share that with you. I have my own playlist. You can check the link in the description. When you sign up using that link, you'll get a month free when you get a year subscription. It's a crazy deal. So I am genuinely stoked to say thank you, MusicBed, for sponsoring, supporting, and making this video possible. It's just the best, and I have leveled up my films and my storytelling and my projects, and you have the opportunity to do the same. I am a big fan, and I think you will be too. I know you will be too. Click the link. Okay.
I genuinely believe this. I think you can supplement sleep with exercise.
Technique number 3 is the champ. It's the best way to do it. It's the most accurate, and it's the most fun.
Just look at that intensity.
I know it's not what you wanted to hear, but the honest to God truth is the best way to get the film look in your videos is to just shoot it on film. But before you get super discouraged, let me just say, as someone who's been through the process, the entry fee and learning curve associated with shooting film is blown out of proportion so much. It really is not nearly as bad as it is in your head. I've seen great Krasnogorsk 3 cameras go on eBay for less than $300. I've seen awesome Super 8 cameras go for far lower than even that. Yes, the film and the development is relatively expensive when you compare it to SD cards and hard drives. But the way I see it, every time I get a roll of film back, I get about 3 minutes of some of the best footage I've ever shot. The color density, the grain, the look, everything is just priceless to me. So while the cost does seem high relative to digital, ultimately I use almost everything I shoot with my Bolex. So as far as the process goes for me, all I can say is it is worth your time. If you really, truly are hooked on this look the way I am, nothing is going to do a better job of achieving that look than just shooting on film. So that's going to do it for me. Those are the top 3 ways to achieve the look. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for MusicBed for supporting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.